This is Valley News Live at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Anna Johnson, and new for you at noon. Police are working with the FBI to find a missing teen from Bemidji. 15-year-old Nevaeh Lee Kingbird was reported by her family as a runaway on October 22nd. They say Kingbird has not been in contact with family or friends since she was seen leaving a home in Southview Terrace Park. She's described as a Native American female with a light complexion, 5 foot 4 inches tall, and 120 pounds. She was last seen wearing jeans, athletic slide-type shoes, and unknown outerwear. Kingbird has dark long hair with highlights and a scar near her left eyebrow, as well as brown eyes. If you have any information, contact police. Our nasty weather is causing trouble for lots of area drivers. The Minnesota State Patrol says this semi went off I-94 near Fergus Falls this morning. Overnight and early this morning, troopers in that region responded to 5 crashes and 23 vehicles that needed to be towed. Meanwhile, this is some video from Bemidji. Looks like some things have improved this morning from the overnight storms, but it's still not perfect. Let's go to meteorologist Lisa Green, who can tell us what we can expect for the rest of our day. Lisa?
Well, good afternoon, and you're right, it's certainly not perfect out there still this afternoon as we are looking at a recent view from a Minnesota DOT plow cam. This is in the last 20 minutes along Highway 34 just east of Detroit Lakes, heading toward Detroit Lakes. You can see the snow on the road surface on top of some icy patches there as well. It does not look too nice along this stretch of Highway 34. So this is just one example of what we're dealing with. I just checked our Minnesota DOT map. We've got some issues with slide-offs around the Fergus Falls I-94 area south of town, and also over toward Bemidji as well. So it's still a struggle out there after we've seen such intense winds and then combined that with the snow. We had a rough night last night and this morning. Some of our peak wind gusts both in the Fargo area, 60 miles per hour. Summit down into South Dakota, 60 miles per hour in Roberts County. Wahpeton got to 58. So did Sisseton, and Oaks gusted to 56. So it was intense for a while. That wind is still strong, though. It is gusting into the 20s and 30s, and that is enough to cause that little bit of drifting on those roads. So say a plow goes by and clears it off, well, more snow ends up drifting back onto it in some of those open places. So please be careful. It's not perfect out there this afternoon, that is for sure. And visibility still down into the east. We still have some reports of some light snow over in places like Baudette, where visibility is less than a mile right now. And in Bemidji, we're at less than 2 miles. Same thing in Park Rapids. But overall, this is clearing out. We've got areas with plenty of sunshine. The problem is that it's cold. Here's a look at Fargo. You can see the blue sky, but it's only 8 degrees. It's 6 in Grand Forks and Jamestown. And check out Devil's Lake, one of our places down below 0 this afternoon, 1 below. We'll have more on the cold weather and when things will finally start to improve coming up. But it won't last long if we see improvement, because we've got more snow coming our way for tomorrow. Lots to talk about still.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Lisa. Well, make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm app handy. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. One of the strongest windstorms in years has caused significant damage in several states in the Midwest. It blew up across the Great Plains yesterday. The strongest wind gusts reached more than 100 miles per hour. Iowa and Nebraska reported more than a dozen tornadoes, and Minnesota had tornado warnings in December for the first time ever. Molelengi is in Heartland, Minnesota, about 80 miles south of the Twin Cities, where the winds literally tore buildings apart.
The small town of Heartland took a direct hit overnight, with downed light poles and a bank building made of bricks reduced to rubble after powerful winds swept through Minnesota Wednesday.
We got power flashes.
Storm chasers captured this video of an apparent tornado in Iowa as hundreds of thousands of people lost power across the Midwest, with wind gusts reaching into the triple digits.
Oh, there it goes.
The wind caused the wall of this fire-damaged grocery store to collapse and destroyed this Iowa farmhouse, one of a number damaged in the state.
We were in the basement. Power went out, so we had to just run downstairs. It was really fast.
Another flip semi.
Also in Iowa, this semi-truck blown over by the high winds, blocking traffic and trapping a driver inside.
Did you call 911 already?
In Nebraska, a state trooper's dash cam caught the moment when another truck overturned. The winds sheared the roof off this airport building in Missouri and led to nearly whiteout conditions on this road in Kansas. In Dodge City, more than 100 miles west of Wichita, wind gusts hit 84 miles an hour, uprooting trees, overturning heavy playground equipment, and leaving an apartment complex in tatters.
According to the National Weather Service, the fact that these events, these weather events, are happening all at once and in the month of December in particular can be called abnormal. At least one expert says climate change is partially fueling these events. Mo Lulenge, CBS News, Heartland, Minnesota.
Officials are working to determine if the weather event in Minnesota was in fact a tornado. If it was, it would be a new record for the state. A Jamestown police officer is recovering from injuries after being assaulted while responding to a welfare check. Jamestown police were called to an apartment in the 1200 block of 3rd Avenue Southwest yesterday because a mental health professional wanted an officer present. A fight broke out between 29-year-old Seth Burkle of Jamestown and family members. An officer intervened and Burkle started punching him. Police arrested Burkle and he's being held in jail for simple assault and assault on a peace officer. The officer attacked was taken to the hospital and has cuts and bruises to his face, but he will recover. One man was arrested for DUI after police say he was involved in a crash with a TLC cleaning vehicle. It happened yesterday morning on 3rd Avenue South and 25th Street South in Fargo. Police say he was also cited for driving under suspension. They also say he was released after signing paperwork stating that he'll appear in court. One person was injured and treated at the ER. Campus cops made quick work of a deck fire in the Northern Valley. UND police officers used fire extinguishers to put out most of the smoldering fire on the 3rd floor deck of an apartment building on North 39th Avenue last night around 10. Firefighters finished the job. No one was hurt, and damage to the deck was minimal. All of the missionaries who were kidnapped in Haiti more than 2 months ago are now free. Ohio-based Christian and Ministries said today has been the day that the 12 have been released. 5 hostages were released within the last couple of weeks. Haitian police said a violent gang kidnapped the group, which also included some elderly people and children. The missionaries were on their way home from building an orphanage. And some toys on your child's Christmas list may be hard to find, but hope isn't lost. Coming up at noon, where you could possibly get them. But next, the weather to plan your day.